Hey everybody, Nick here from another BookTube channel, and today I'll be talking about Night of the Bunny by Derek Heath. This was not on my TBR for the month, but I had finished 2 books already. I was looking at the list of stuff that I had to get to, and I just wasn't in the mood for any of it. I wanted something a little bit lighter, a little bit more over the top, ridiculous, and fun, and this popped up on my Instagram feed. I follow the author on Instagram, and he had just released this just in time for Easter Sunday, and I thought, you know what? This looks like exactly what I'm looking for. So I took the chance, I downloaded it for 99 cents, and I ended up having a really good time with it. Night of the Bunny is about Joel, a 16-year-old who's living in a home for children. I don't know that it's technically an orphanage, but it's a home for kids run by nuns. And Joel has gotten in trouble quite a bit because he is a pyromaniac. He keeps setting little fires that are causing a lot of damage, but no injuries. But the damage adds up, and so he's accrued a bit of a debt to these nuns, and so to pay them back, they send him to work at a farm that's adjacent to the kids' home. On the farm, he just does tasks like mowing the lawn, cooking for the farm owner Rudy, tending to the garden, stuff like that. As Easter Sunday approaches, Joel starts to notice some weird things going on around the farm, like, it's about a big killer Easter bunny, alright? It's about a big killer Easter bunny. Something that I really enjoyed about Night of the Bunny was it gave me really big Goosebumps vibes, like the R.L. Stine books. I absolutely loved those when I was a kid, and even from the moment I saw the front cover of this book, I like that looks like a Goosebumps book. This is decidedly more mature than a Goosebumps book. It is bloody, it's violent, there's bad language in it, so definitely not for kids, but it's for the grown-ups that never grew up. It also reminded me of Goosebumps because all of those books have, younger kids as the protagonist who usually encounter a monster and then the adults around them aren't helpful at all about it. Like they either don't believe them or they're not involved in any way. And that's pretty much what is happening here as well. So it really did feel like an aged up Goosebumps. And I say that in the kindest way possible. It was a lot of fun. And kudos to Heath for giving us a really fleshed out character in Joel. We learn a lot about his backstory. We learn about his childhood with his parents and what they were like, and why Joel has turned out the way that he has. And we spend a lot of time with him as he's really trying to reconcile what happened to him in his childhood and give himself some kind of a chance at a good future. It's really interesting. You form a good connection with this kid in a book about a big killer bunny. Heath also delivers on the creature feature aspects of the book really well. The scenes of violence are adequately over the top and bloody, and he plays with the concept of it being a killer Easter bunny really well. There's a fun usage of kind of alternative gross Easter eggs that play heavily into the story, which are really yucky, but it was great. I love to see that he worked the premise a little bit. It wasn't just a big rabbit, it was very much an Easter bunny. And I thought that was a lot of fun. If I had to level one big criticism at Night of the Bunny, it's that there wasn't enough carnage for my taste. I wanted way more killings than there were. We do get an appropriately bloody finale, which is great. But before that, give us a couple more scenes. At least one more scene of the rabbit doing its thing. Since the book it's not told from Joel's perspective, but it's very much with Joel the majority of the time, so we don't see a lot of things that he doesn't, and that kind of narrows our scope a little bit. I think it would have benefited from maybe a prologue of just, one or two random characters that we get introduced to who just exist to introduce us to the killer. It's, pretty standard horror trope to have a prologue like that. And I think that would have really benefited here, just to set the tone a little bit more, and give us a little bit more bloodshed. Night of the Bunny isn't the best monster book you're ever going to read, but it's fun and bloody enough to definitely be worth a little bit of your time. My arbitrary and subjective grade for Night of the Bunny is 6.5 out of 10. Do with that what you will. go out and support an independent author. For 99 cents on Amazon, it's worth it. Thank you for spending some time with me today, but now it's time to get back to reading.